The mug slipped from my fingers, coffee splashing across the floor as my mother-in-law's whispered words registered on my husband's face. I watched as Ethan's expression shifted from calm to furious in seconds. "Is this true?" he demanded. "Have you been lying to me?" Before I could respond, his hand shot out. The slap was so hard I lost my balance, stumbling back into the wall. My cheek burned as tears welled up in my eyes. And then the wave of nausea I'd been holding back all evening came. In front of both of them, I threw up. Ethan took a step back but froze when he noticed something in my purse that had fallen open. A positive pregnancy test had slipped out. His face drained of color. "Grace, are you—" His voice trailed off. I touched my stinging cheek, tears streaming down my face. "Yes, I'm pregnant. I was going to tell you tonight. That's why I made your favorite dinner." My name is Grace. I'm 32 and a third-grade teacher. This is the story of how I reclaimed my life from the woman who poisoned my marriage and nearly destroyed my family. The silence that followed was suffocating. Ethan stared at the test, then at his hand, the one he had just used to strike his pregnant wife. Vivian stood frozen, her lips pressed into a thin line, but couldn't hide the shock in her eyes. "Oh my God," Ethan muttered. "Grace, He reached for me, but I flinched away. The man who had promised to protect me had just hit me while I was carrying his child. The sound of a door opening startled us. Chloe, our neighbor, stood in the doorway, concern on her face. "I heard shouting," she said, taking in the scene. "Is everything okay?" I knew deep down that nothing was okay, and nothing would be for a long time. I'd met Ethan 3 years ago at a coffee shop. He accidentally spilled his coffee on my students' homework, and his frantic attempts to salvage the papers made me laugh. "I promise I'm not usually this clumsy," he'd said. "Please let me make it up to you, coffee or dinner." That's how it started. Simple, sweet, completely perfect. Ethan was everything I'd dreamed of, and he looked at me like I was the most fascinating person he'd ever met. Our first year of marriage was beautiful. We bought a small house, talked about having kids, and spent weekends making plans for our future. Then Vivian moved in. "It's just temporary," Ethan assured me. "Mom's having a hard time with the divorce. She needs support right now." I wanted to be understanding, but Vivian had a way of making me feel small in my own home. Nothing I did was good enough. The house wasn't clean enough, my cooking wasn't to her standards, and I wasn't taking good enough care of her son. "Ethan works so hard," she'd say. "He needs more protein than that." The changes in Ethan were subtle at first. He started criticizing things he'd never noticed before. Each criticism was preceded by those private conversations with his mother. When I found out I was pregnant, I should have been overjoyed. Instead, I felt terrified. I hid the morning sickness, making excuses to rush to the bathroom at school. I kept crackers in my desk drawer. I wanted to tell Ethan first, to have one moment of joy before Vivian took over with her opinions. The night of the slap, I'd planned everything perfectly. Ethan's favorite lasagna, his preferred wine, and a little onesie to surprise him with. But Vivian insisted on coming to dinner. "Family dinners are important," she said. I was in the kitchen when I overheard Vivian on the phone. "She's hiding something. I saw her running to the bathroom, probably having an affair. My Ethan deserves better." My hands shook. An affair? Is that what she whispered to Ethan at dinner? Is that why he was so quick to believe the worst about me? Standing in our dining room with Chloe witnessing the aftermath, I felt the weight of every whispered lie. Every moment I stayed quiet to keep the peace. My hand moved protectively to my stomach. The baby inside me deserved better. I deserved better. "Grace." Ethan stepped toward me, his voice breaking. "Please, let me explain." But Chloe had already wrapped her arm around my shoulders. "She's coming with me," she said firmly, "and you better not try to stop her." As Chloe led me out, I heard Vivian's voice. "Ethan, darling, she's hysterical. You know how women get in her condition." The door closed behind us, but the damage was done. My perfect life had shattered in a single evening. That night, I took a picture of my face, the red handprint still visible against my pale skin. "What are you doing?" Chloe asked, bringing me tea. "Evidence," I said, my voice steadier than expected. and insurance. The next morning, I called the school principal and requested emergency leave. Then I made 2 more calls, one to my sister Megan, a family law attorney, and another to my bank. I need to move half of our joint account into a separate account in my name only, I told the bank manager. By noon, I had a new checking account with enough money to support myself for 6 months. By evening, Megan had emailed me steps to document spousal abuse and begin custody proceedings if necessary. My phone buzzed nonstop with messages from Ethan. "I'm so sorry. Please come home. I never meant to hurt you." Mixed in were texts from Vivian. "You're tearing this family apart. A good wife would come home and work things out." I blocked Vivian's number without hesitation, but couldn't block Ethan. Not yet. That evening, I made a list of everything I needed from the house: clothes, documents, my grandmother's jewelry. "We'll go when they're both out," Chloe said. "Tom will come with us." Tom was Chloe's boyfriend, a police officer. I opened my laptop and started a document titled Incidents. I typed out every detail about the night before. I attached the photo of my face. Then I documented 6 months of Vivian's manipulations and Ethan's changing behavior. 1 week after the incident, I had my first prenatal appointment. The sound of my baby's heartbeat filled the room, strong and steady. Tears rolled down my cheeks because Ethan should have been here for this moment. "Do you want me to record it?" Chloe whispered. I nodded, unable to speak. That evening, I sent Ethan the recording with a simple message: "Your child's heartbeat." His response came quickly. "Please, can we talk in person? Without Mom?" I glanced at my reflection. The bruise had faded to yellowish green, but the fear in my eyes was still fresh. Could I face him? My phone buzzed again. Vivian from a new number, probably gotten from their family phone plan that I hadn't thought to cancel yet. How dare you send that to him without discussing it with me first? I'm his mother. Something snapped within me. I typed, "You are not involved in decisions about my baby. Never have been, never will be." I blocked this number too. A few moments later, Ethan called. This time, I picked up. "She's gone too far," he said. "I heard Vivian bragging about how she'd saved me from your supposed affair. She made it all up and I believed her. I hit you because I believed her lies." His voice cracked. "I need you to choose, Ethan," I said. "Either your mother moves out or I'm not coming back. And if I don't come back, I'll be talking to a lawyer about full custody. I won't raise our child in a home with violence." The silence felt like it stretched for hours. "Can you meet me tomorrow at Carter's coffee shop, where we first met? Mom won't be there, I promise. I just need to see you." I looked down at my stomach. "Okay," I whispered. "Tomorrow at 2 o'clock. But if she shows up, I'm done forever." "She won't," he said firmly. "I'm choosing you, Grace. I should have chosen you all along." The next day, I arrived at Carter's 15 minutes early. I chose a table near the door, an easy escape route. Chloe was parked across the street, ready to intervene if needed. At exactly 2 o'clock, Ethan walked in alone. He looked terrible, unshaven, dark circles under his eyes. He stopped a few feet from the table, respecting my space. "Can I sit?" he asked softly. I nodded, watching as he sank into the chair. "I kicked her out," he said. "Last night, she's staying at a hotel." I wrapped my hands around my tea. "Just like that?" "No," he admitted. "She screamed, cried, and told me I was abandoning her. But I packed her bags myself, told her if she didn't leave, I'd call the police." "Why now, Ethan? Why not after all the other times she hurt me?" "Because I became her," his voice cracked. "When I hit you, I became everything I hated about her. Controlling, violent, ready to believe the worst." "I'm scared of you," I admitted quietly. "Do you understand that? I'm carrying your child, and I'm scared of you." "You should be," he whispered. "What?" "What I did, there's no excuse. But Grace, please believe me, it will never happen again. I'm starting therapy tomorrow. I need to understand why I let her control me." I took a shaky breath. "I have conditions, Ethan, non-negotiable ones." He leaned forward. "Anything." "Vivian never sets foot in our house again. No holidays, no visits, nothing. She gets no information about the baby, no photos, no updates, nothing." "Done," he said immediately. "You continue therapy. We also do couples counseling, and if you ever raise a hand to me again, I'm gone. No discussions, no second chances. I'll press charges and file for full custody. I understand. He reached for his phone, pulling up an email. I've already found a couples counselor. He slid a business card across the table. This is my lawyer. I've asked her to draw up papers giving you full custody if I ever become violent again. The papers are being prepared now. My hand trembled as I picked up the card. You're serious about this? I love you, Grace. I love our baby, and I hate myself for what I did. I'm not coming home today, I said. I need time, and we start couples counseling first. He nodded, relief visible on his face. Can I come to the next doctor's appointment? For the first time since that horrible night, I felt a tiny spark of hope. Yes, I said, but Chloe comes too. Of course, he agreed quickly. Whatever you need to feel safe. 2 weeks later, with the temporary restraining order Megan had helped me secure in place, Vivian showed up at my classroom during lunch break. We need to talk, she said, closing the door behind her. My heart hammered in my chest. You're violating the restraining order. Leave now, or I'm calling the police. A restraining order? Against a concerned grandmother? Her laugh was brittle. I stood up, putting the desk between us. You reduced yourself to this, Vivian. Now leave. She took another step forward. You've turned my son against me. Poisoned him with your lies and that trap you've set. The fear suddenly transformed into rage. Pure, protective rage. A trap. I kept my voice controlled. Like the trap you set when you lied about me having an affair? When you manipulated him into hitting me? I pulled out my phone and pressed record. Say it again, Vivian. Tell me how you lied to your son. Her eyes widened. You did, and now you're violating a legal order, threatening a pregnant woman at her workplace. I took a step toward her, and she stepped back. You thought I was weak. You thought I would break, but you forgot something. I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I placed a hand on my baby bump. I'm fighting for her, and there's nothing I won't do to protect my daughter from you. Vivian's face paled. Her? Yes, your granddaughter. The one you'll never meet, never hold, never know. The one who will grow up free from manipulation and control. The one who will never learn your name. For the first time, Vivian seemed rattled. You can't keep my grandchild from me. I have rights. No, you don't. I pulled out a folder with my evidence. 6 months of documented manipulation. Witnesses. The recording of you bragging about fabricating the affair. And now this. You breaking a legal order. The door opened, and Ashley, my aide, walked in with the principal. Their faces registered shock at seeing Vivian. I'd shown them her photo when I returned to work, warning them she might try to contact me. Ms. Matthews, the principal said firmly, security is on their way. Vivian grabbed the folder. This isn't over, she hissed. I smiled, feeling a strange calm. It is for you. As security escorted her out, Ethan ran up the hallway, panic on his face. When he saw me unharmed, he nearly collapsed with relief. She called me, he said. Told me she was going to fix things with you. I called the police immediately, then the school office when I realized she might be heading to your classroom. That evening, I finally agreed to return home. Ethan had transformed the house. Vivian's things were gone. He had repainted the walls in soft yellows and greens, colors we chose for the nursery. I got rid of the dining room set, he said quietly. Bought a new one. I didn't want you to have to look at that table every day. We developed new routines. Ethan would text before coming home. We cooked together. Every decision about the baby was made jointly with no outside input. We continued therapy, unpacking years of manipulation and control. By my 5th month, we felt ready for me to move back home permanently. Chloe helped me pack, still unsure. Are you certain about this? She asked. No, I admitted, but I need to try, for her. I touched my growing belly. The first test came at 7 months. Vivian sent a baby gift, an expensive silver rattle with a note claiming that family heirlooms can't be kept away by restraining orders. Ethan took it straight to our lawyer. She's testing boundaries, he said. That night, Ethan held me as I cried. What if she never stops? I whispered. What if our daughter has to grow up looking over her shoulder? Then we'll protect her, he said firmly. Every day, every time. I won't fail her like I failed you. As my due date approached, we faced another challenge. Vivian had somehow discovered which hospital I'd registered at, likely through one of Ethan's distant cousins who worked in medical billing and had always been close to her. We need to change hospitals, Ethan said. So we switched, registered under Chloe's address, and made sure every hospital staff knew about the restraining order. Labor started at 2 a.m. on a quiet Tuesday. Ethan called Chloe first, then followed our plan. Hospital bag ready, car seat installed, security cameras checked. After 12 hours of labor, our daughter, Lily Grace, entered the world, screaming her little lungs out. "She is perfect," Ethan whispered, tears streaming down his face. "She looks just like you." The first test came soon. A flower delivery arrived at the hospital addressed to my first granddaughter, Lily. Ethan intercepted it. The card read, "Blood is thicker than water. She'll need her grandmother soon enough." Although we hadn't made any public birth announcements yet, the hospital's visitor policy meant Vivian could have simply called and asked for my room number to learn our daughter's name. Instead of hiding it from me, Ethan showed me the card. "No more secrets," he said firmly, ripping it up. "We handle everything together now." Coming home was nothing like I'd imagined. Ethan had installed new security cameras, changed all the locks, and added extra lighting. But inside, it was just us, our little family of 3. The first few weeks blurred together with midnight feedings and endless diaper changes. Ethan had taken extended paternity leave, showing his commitment to being present. At Lily's 1-month checkup, our pediatrician smiled warmly. "She's thriving," she said. "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." That evening, as we sat in the nursery with Lily asleep in her crib, Ethan took my hand. "I saw Mom today," he said quietly, "at the grocery store." My heart stopped. What happened? "She tried to approach me, asked about Lily," he said. "I walked away, called security, followed our plan." I released the breath I had been holding. "And how do you feel?" "Sad," he admitted, his voice heavy but certain. "But our daughter will never know that kind of love, the kind that hurts, the kind that controls. She'll only know the real thing." I looked at our daughter, sleeping soundly in her crib, and knew he was right. The cycle was broken. Our home was filled with a different kind of love now, the kind that protected instead of controlled. Lily stirred in her sleep, making the tiny baby noises that melted our hearts. Ethan and I sat there, hands linked, watching her. "Thank you," he whispered. "For what?" I asked. "For giving me a second chance, for showing me what a real family looks like, for her." I leaned against his shoulder, feeling truly safe for the first time in years. 6 months after Lily's birth, a certified letter arrived from Vivian, along with legal documents. "I've decided to move to Arizona," the note read. "I've signed the enclosed papers relinquishing any claim to visitation rights with Lily. Ethan, you were always stronger than I gave you credit for. Grace, you were always stronger than I wanted you to be. Take care of each other." Ethan and I stood in the kitchen, staring at the papers in disbelief. "Do you think she means it?" I asked. "I don't know," he admitted. "But for the first time in my life, I don't care what she means. I only care about us." He pulled me close, and together we watched through the window as Lily played on her blanket in the backyard, bathed in golden afternoon light, safe, loved, and free.